Hi, I'm Mark Thorburn and welcome back to Tuts Plus Introduction to Sony Vegas Pro. We left our project after the first pass, so in this lesson we'll look at refining the edits and adding audio.
The way to add audio to the project is exactly the same as adding the visuals to the project. You import them into the project media folder, or you drag them directly from a file into the timelines. Now, as you'll see here, we've got a visual track, but we have no audio track. And one of the great things, or one of the good things about Sony Vegas Pro is that you can just drag it straight in. So the first thing we're going to use is a little bit of this. City Wind it's called. And that is ambience for the city. So we drag it and drop it underneath the visuals there. And now you'll see we have an audio track underneath the visual track there. Now we're going to need a few visual tracks, so a few audio tracks rather. So I'm just going to reduce that slightly so we can see, and then right click, insert audio track, right click, insert audio track. So there's a couple of tracks that we've got there below. So there we go. And if you want to move it around exactly the same as you would, grab it with the left mouse button and just slide it around anywhere that you like. Now when you go into the project media file here, if you click on the images or the audio, they will play as a preview in this window here, so you can see what you've got as you click around. And what we're going to do is use this piece of audio at the intro. So we're going to grab that, drop it in there, move the city sound effects there, move that up there, zoom all the way in and start putting the audio together. Now the way that I think works best is, if you watch the visuals here, is if we start with a little bit of cityscape noise and then move into the audio. So let's go back to the beginning there, press play, so it should fade in, cityscape, then the music comes in. Okay, there we go. It's a reasonably rough mix at the moment. And if you wish to reduce the audio, there's two ways you can do that. Everything on the track by reducing the volume here, or just grab the top and pull it down like that, and that will reduce the volume. So at the moment, I think the cityscape noise is a little loud, so we can afford to take that probably quite a way down. Okay, that's fine. So let's go back up here and let's have a look at the timing of things really. I think we don't need too much on the cityscape noise. So if you want it to fade in exactly the same as you would do with the visual, just grab that top corner there with the left mouse button and fade it in. So we'll have a fade in there, and I think we'll have the music coming in probably immediately after the fade in of the visuals are finished. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's okay. And this is for the sort of lazy opening sequence that I was talking about before, as we establish the majesty and the beauty of the city of Prague. So if you see here on the waveform there, we can see that actually that hits quite nicely on that crossfade. So let's try that again from the beginning. And crossfade. Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. So now we'll start moving these pieces together so that they match the tone of the music a little bit better. Now what we are going to need to do is obviously to end the music. And if you hear the end of it here, there's quite a nice end to it. So what I'm going to do is hit the S key here to cut that. And now we have two separate bits there. And we're going to edit that onto the end to come here at the end of the fade out. So what's going to happen is the image is going to fade out nicely there. And we want the music to end at the same point. So let's have ourselves another audio track, insert audio track. and we will move it below the existing one, and then we can drop this down to where we want it to be and start matching up these waveforms here in order to get it sounding right. If you look at these two peaks here, they look reasonably similar to me, so I think with some careful editing that will probably work quite nicely. So we'll cut that again there, get rid of that, move that in there like that, put that there like that, fade that like that, fade that like that. So we have a crossfade on the music here. Let's see what that sounds like. Could be awful, could be setting myself up for a fall, but here we go. Not bad, not bad at all. Just extend that ever so slightly and maybe reduce the amount of crossfade that we've got. So that gives us an opening sequence that goes, and I think we can afford to reduce the city effects a little more as well. So that gives us this. Yeah, not bad at all. And let's cut the city effects there. Just get rid of that half and continue to move on. So now we're going to up the tempo with the music because we changed to the time lapse of the castle square there. We can move that in slightly closer, I think, because we're going to fade out. And then at that point, we're going to up the music. So a slight fade in there. And then when we move to this sequence here with the time lapse in, then we're going to need something a little more up-tempo because that's when we change to the more up-tempo elements. So we'll take this track here, drag it down there, and we want that to start as soon as the visuals change. So the crossover should be that works quite nicely, but the city atmosphere that we've got down here just needs to fade out at the same time as that track is finished. So we'll do that there. That should make it a neater transition. That's okay. Now, with this, we're going to do another music edit here. As you see on the waveform here, it becomes more bassy. And that is the key to the change of scene when it goes from that initial sequence into that beat there. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this side run for a little while. We'll just hit the S key, split it there. And then we're going to shorten that sequence because we don't need it to go on for too long. That works perfectly. Now all we need are the visuals to match that up. So that is now too long. So we'll drag that back in, make the fade out, drag that line there a little more severe, and then we start moving into a fire sequence. So we'll just hit this key up here to move all of those along. Take it off again. And then we're going to be going from the castle square into the fire. And again, the fade in there is probably going to be quite tight. Let's watch it through, see how it goes. It goes out, and we're into the fire. Yeah, onto the beat. And that works really, really well. And then we're going to use these beats down here. We're going to use those to pretty much dictate the pace of the changes for these sequences here. So I will crack on with that right now. For this sequence here, we're going to use, again, some more relaxing music. So we have a look up here, and that's what we're going to go for, Gymnopédie. And we will place that just there. And it should give us a nice run-in and relaxing piece of music for the fountain. A little bit tight. move it along a bit. And this is going to follow us all the way through this daylight sequence here, through the soldiers that we've got here and through the town. And all of these tweaks you can make, moving the images around, editing the sound, adding in the Foley until you've got everything that you need. And then we will take the end of the music once again to match the end of the screen images there, so that we have a nice, gentle, subtle end to things. But again, we will look to match up these beats.
So the project is starting to look more complete. Next time we'll look at the second pass and the finishing touches that will bring everything together and complete the look that we're after. I'm Mark Thorburn, thanks for watching.